making tickets equal 1. So if we go to index and we scroll down, here you go, tickets. So when it starts index, it's going to skip through most of this because it's what I've done is if is set get park, or and you'll notice here if is set get tickets. So in other words, if the tickets is set, which we did set in our right stat panel, we set it to 1. So basically when you click on tickets, it's going to reload index, and then it's going to say, well, tickets is set, so go ahead and echo out everything in between this tickets right here. And the same thing goes for inventory, which is right below it. But let's go ahead and go through tickets. And first of all, we don't have any tickets, so let's get a ticket. Let's try to steal a car. Wow, I actually stole a car. That's usually pretty hard to do. Let's mug someone. There we go. I got a ticket. So if I go to my tickets, you'll now see that I have a new ticket in the city of New Florence, which we're at, and I'm charged with mugging. The fine's $500. I can pay the fine. The way the game works is you can only have up to 5 tickets. You have to pay some before it'll let you do a crime again, so it's always good to keep your tickets down, but you don't immediately have to pay them. If you come back to our tickets, you'll see how I set the tickets up is I'm basically just echoing out the tickets, underlining it, making it big. I do the bypass map equals 1, and I'll show that in a minute. Just keep that in mind of how I did bypass 1, because if you notice when I do tickets, we're still on index.php, yet the map never showed up. And I'll show you, that's basically what bypass is. We're going to bypass the map so the map never shows up. I don't know why I keep going to that. And then if is set p fine, it's not set, so we're going to skip that right now. Else, we're going to go ahead and display all our tickets. Ticket info equals select all from tickets, where name equals your name. So basically in the database, if we go to tickets, you'll see that there's, let's go ahead and browse the ticket to kind of get a better idea. And let's edit this one. If you notice the name, it's the name of the character, the type of ticket you're getting, which is mugging, the script attempting to mug, that way they know what they were doing, the fine on there, where it's at, and then I also did a randed. Randed is just basically to keep all, if you say you have 5 tickets that are all mugging, it tells the difference between which ticket is what. It's kind of a random number that gets inserted whenever you get a ticket. So then we just do a standard query to select the ticket. Then we actually do an array for every ticket that you have, and while pretty much it's saying while that there is a ticket with this player name, then we're going to do a table border, which is kind of basically the border I did. The background image is going to be the blank ticket, which if we go to our images, you'll see there's the blank ticket. Let's go ahead and load it in Adobe. There's basically the ticket without anything on it, a blank ticket. And then we're going to do, we have a div, a new div called ticket text that basically places the information for the ticket inside that ticket, and it's going to be relative of the ticket because it's creating a table. Each ticket is a table, and all the text inside of it is relative to that ticket. So then we just print out the city, the ticket city, the type it was, the fine, and then we put a link to it that goes to index.php. Again, tickets equals 1, but this time p fine equals 1, and then the randed of the ticket, the actual ticket's random number, and then we can go back to map. We just put a simple back to map if you don't want to pay anything. So let's say we click on pay it. Now our tickets now equals 1, so we're at the same place, but this time if is set p fine, which it is, then we're going to do this little code block instead of doing the, and it's going to skip this else, so it's not going to display the tickets, it's actually just going to pay them. We get the get method of randed, so we have the random number, and then we select all tickets for name equals a name, and then randed equals randed. That way if you have 2 mugging tickets, it knows which mugging tickets you're paying off. If there's nothing there, then it just says this ticket does not exist. If the fine is greater than your cash, then it's going to tell you you can't afford to pay the fine, which if you notice, if I try to pay the fine now, I've got no money, it'll tell me I don't have any money. So then we do else if the ticket fine is less than or equal to the cash. Then we're going to update players. We're going to minus the cash from them, and basically we're just saying cash equals cash minus the ticket info's fine. And then we're going to delete the ticket, and delete where name equals player and randed equals randed. And then you have paid the fine. To kind of show you how it works, let's go ahead and pay that fine. Let's give myself 500 bucks. Let's go to players, browse, and let's edit new and cash. Let's give him a couple extra just in case we need to use it later. And if we refresh, you'll see that we now have $1,000. So let's go to tickets. Let's pay the fine. You paid the fine, your ticket has been removed. If we go back, we now have 500 bucks. It minused it, and we now do not have a ticket. So that's basically the ticket system. As far as paying it, we're going to go into later of how you get tickets and how it adds it. Next, we go to inventory. If you know on our right stat panel, if you see on here, there's also the other link is index inventory. It basically saying reload index again, but inventory equals 1. So now we're doing if is set inventory equals 1. Here's this bypass map equals 1. And just get that out of the way in case anybody's wondering. The map's down here. If nothing else is set, then it's going to go ahead and run this. But if bypass map does not equal 1, then it's going to run it. But if it does equal 1, it's just going to skip it. And we'll go into map creation a little bit later. Okay, so basically this is another simple, just real quick inventory table. You're just doing a standard table. You're selecting all from inventory where the PID equals the character's name, whoever it is. You're putting the image of the these are just blank images. I'm using them as spacers. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do the table and everything, so that's kind of set up however you guys want to set it up. If you want to put actual images as like name and type and all that, you just put them up in here and you can change it, and I'll kind of show you